Hi, how are you? I am so happy you are here. Kelly Shoup. Today we are going to start our 5-day challenge on temper management. And I'm going to give you parents lots of helpful tools for interacting with your children. Okay, does anybody ever lose their temper just like so often, even in the morning, right when they get up? Or does anybody have a child who you are like, oh my gosh, this child is so explosive? What about their temper? What's going on there? Okay, all of these things we are going to talk about this week. Again, I am longtime cradle Catholic parenting coach, pediatric occupational therapist, mom of 3 teenagers, and I have been helping families and parents and kids in the way they interact for a very long time. And so we're going to address some of these things. I'm glad you're here in the Empowered Parent Playground Facebook group. I want to encourage you to please post a question. Let me know something about you. Let me know one of the biggest challenges or frustrations you have with your child or children. I would love to give all of you access to any help that I can give you. And so a lot of that is just a simple, oh my goodness, this is what happened today. And I don't really know. What could I do better? What's going on? Is this age, stage, developmentally appropriate? I know that. So again, if you just found me, I'm longtime parenting coach. What makes my lens unique and what makes how I go about helping parents different is my education and training in occupational therapy. So I've had a lot of, again, just training in the human body. And so I approach everything that I do from first a Catholic faith-based approach, but the second way is from a body up approach. And this is different from a lot of other parenting professionals. But again, because of my occupational therapy background, and also because of my understanding in how God created humans and how he created them to mature and grow and develop in certain ages and stages. So this is what I operate from and can help parents a lot just based on that. What's going on in that physical body? And again, when the child is young, ages 3 to 8, those little bodies have so much going on right underneath the skin. So many different changes in their organs and their mind and the neurons and the synapses and their posture and their balance and their muscles and their ligaments and what they'll eat, like their taste buds, all of it has huge changes in these young ages of 3 to 8. And so I want to start by looking at the physical body and saying, what changes are going on that are giving us this behavior that we don't like? So I often say that behavior is communication. And so this is just a very neutral statement. Behavior is communication. I completely understand, because I have 3 of my own children, that often that behavior that your child is giving you, that is communicating something, looks like a tantrum, a meltdown, an outburst. It usually occurs at the worst time, like when you're leaving a restaurant or when you have to be at a certain function to help out grandparent or aunts and uncles or something. Um, and so I completely understand that that behavior is a lot of times not what you want. And I get it. But I want you to know that that bad behavior is actually just a symptom of something else that's going on inside that child's body. And so when we want to stop that behavior and immediately squelch it and immediately stop it, like we want an instant stop, like your child is screaming in Target and you just want to do something to stop that behavior, a lot of times there is something else that's going on within your child's body. So I don't immediately stop the behavior. A lot of times I will wait a little bit to see if I can figure out if there is what the real underlying thing is. Because primarily there is, in these young ages of 3 to 8, there is something else going on. And 3 to 8, the age is where kids don't have their brain, their mental capacity to articulate through words exactly what they need or what they want or what they're feeling. Are they feeling unsafe? Are they agitated? They can't tell you with their mouth, so they are telling you through their body. But it's in a way, as parents, we are like, ugh, I do not want this. It's driving me crazy. I need it to stop. So I encourage you that when this happens, just take a deep breath and give a pause and think, okay, I don't want to stop it because I want to understand it. And so this is the one thing that I also want you to know is that I operate from not an instant obedience, not an immediate result with how I encourage parents to interact with their kids, because that immediate kind of instant obedience, that a lot of times comes from a place of control. And when we are operating as parents out of just control and 100% compliance, and kind of, the child is supposed to have no say, they just do whatever they're told to do whenever they are told to do it, that doesn't breed well for the parent-child connection and relationship that is going to last a lifetime. And so I am always encouraging parents and helping them facilitate and come up with tools and strategies to do things with a long-term goal. So I describe it as I'm always playing the long game. I'm always going for that long game, how we want this to look later in life. And again, this is the flow of how God created humans. And this is also the part where when you have struggles and temper problems with your kids, this is God's way of growing you in virtue and towards heaven and getting you out of your comfort zone and having to approach your child, this particular situation, this behavior that they are giving you with a different lens, looking at it differently. Again, this is God designed it. So I want to be in flow and be in the way that God has created humans to be. And it takes some intentionality, but it's actually simple things that can be put in place that for the parents that find me, you guys are incredible, success driven, you already are accomplished, you excel at so much in your life. And so you're even that much more frustrated because you cannot control your child and you are not going to ever control your child. So I'm here to give you strategies and tools to be connected and to go in the flow with your child. Okay, so that behavior is communication, and we want to stay in a connected, cultivating relationship mindset. And so we're not going to come in and immediately squelch that behavior because that isn't going to give us the clues that we want to know about what's really going on with that child. Okay? So two of the ways that God created humans is that we are both unique. We're both and. So we are unique, but then we're also like other humans, which is absolutely incredible. So the uniqueness is, again, we are made differently, different in height, different in width, our natural tendencies, our personality types, our sensory system, the way the senses intake information from our environment is very different than another person. Now, there are similarities too, but as a parent, you want to know that, there are so many differences that your kids are from you. And that, again, is a gift from God. And it's an invitation to grow and to learn and expand and see things, again, through a different way, because your children don't have the exact makeup as you do. So there are so many verses in the Bible that I love, just about how intentional God is and how he makes us. He knows every single hair on our head. And it's mind-blowing, really. And so I am not going to change as a parent or as a parenting coach. There are so many things about your young kids that we are not going to get rid of. So oftentimes I will have a parent say, "Can you fix my kid? Can you please fix my kid?" And your kid is not broken. And I will shift and adjust and try to improve on the raw material that God created your child to be. But a lot of the ways that kids are, we're not getting rid of those things. We're just adjusting as parents and learning how to deal with these particular unique, amazing qualities that God gave your child. So I just invite you to, with today's homework, there are some Bible verses on it, and to just sit for a few minutes and think about each of your children and what is unique about them. And I would love for you to list a challenge or a frustration or something particular that's going on with each child right now. And again, post it in that Facebook group and I will respond. I would love to know what your challenge is. Your biggest challenge this morning. What was it when you got them off to school? It's Monday morning. What happened? Let me know. Are you like, what could I do better tomorrow? But just to think about their uniqueness, and just, it's an opportunity to really just spend quiet time with God. I don't think we do this enough, to really talk to him about the uniqueness of our kids. Like, God, why did you give me this in this child? What do you want me to know? What are you trying to teach me? And this is also a difference in how I operate my practice. It's just, I'm always asking for grace and the Holy Spirit and the Lord to be with all of it. And as parents, I'm asking for all of it every minute of the day as I'm working with my own children. And so I invite you to also. We can't do this without the grace of God. And so ask for it. Spend a little time thinking about the uniqueness of your kids, and then what a challenge is. So we can address it together. Okay. What I also do is I can add value in the sameness. So because I have been educated and trained in human behavior and the human body and how it develops and how it grows and all the ages and stages and what that looks like, and because I've been doing it for over 20 years with lots and lots of families, I can tell you, what does potty training look like in a 3-year-old? Or what happens in a 4-year-old with potty training in this particular strange behavior that a parent brings to me and says, okay, I'm going to tell you something weird, and I'm pretty sure nobody else has had this situation with this child in regard to potty training. So they will explain to me, and I can quickly give them relief and say, you know what? You're not alone. I could give you a long list of kids that absolutely have this strange behavior in regard to potty training. So, parents, I want you to find relief and comfort again because there is a sameness to humans. So, we were designed by God to all have a heart, to all have pumping lungs, to have a brain, to have extremities, our arms and legs that work a certain way, that we have balance, that we use our eyes, all of that, there is a sameness. And so that speaks to there is a right order that God designed. There is, a certain patterned way that He made humans. And so that allows us to, in that sameness, look and say, okay, of all these potty training people that I have treated, there's a pattern here with that 4-year-old and this certain behavior. And so I have gathered all this information for years. And so when a parent says to me, this is so weird, this behavior, I'm like, it's actually not. And actually, this is a progress, and this is going in that healthy development for your child. So let's see if there's some ways we can tweak it so the parent is not so affected by it, but it's actually the behavior that we want from the child. Okay, so that sameness, again, I can help parents address all the different issues because I have seen so much of that sameness over the years. Okay, this is a 6th grader who all of a sudden is doing this. Are they supposed to do that? Probably so. So that's how I can quickly give relief and help parents know you're not alone in this. I've dealt with this before. Here's A, B, and C, and this is how we're going to address it and get on down the road. Okay. So for today, we're just going to start off with, again, just understanding God's design for us, that we are both unique and the same. And so I encourage you to just spend a little time meditating on the uniqueness of your child and think of one specific frustration or challenge that is unique to each of your child and post it in that Facebook group so I can speak to it. And I will do that today. Tomorrow, we are going to get started on the sensory system. So the senses and how they take in information. And this is often a big aha, like, oh my goodness. When we talk about the sensory system, not a lot of parenting professionals do, and it gives a lot of information, a lot of those cues and clues about that bad behavior that parents, you can really quickly have some impact in a really positive way, where you're not losing your temper as much and where your child feels really safe and supported and connected to you. And again, that is my goal, is that we operate from a connection and cultivating relationship. And for a child to feel connected to you, they have to feel like they are safe, that you meet their need, that you hear them and see them, and that they are loved. And so just by understanding kind of their sensory system, also understanding their unique, their natural tendencies, their personality, their pace. Another thing I talk to parents about is there's a natural rhythm or pace that each human has. And so young kids can be on the pace of the parent, and that can often be a really quick pace. Like we're going here, then we got to go there, we got to stop there. And for a young child, that can be really exhausting, even more exhausting if this child has a natural rhythm that is much slower than the parents. So all of these things play into how that behavior comes out in a child. And it looks bad because parents tell me all the time, this is bad. I don't like this. They threw a fit. That I've got a battle at bedtime. We have a power struggle every single time we sit down for dinner, every single night. I cannot stand it. And so all of that we are going to address. And there are so many intangible, so many invisible things going on, right? There's also birth order. There's gender specific things that are unique but are actually kind of patterned. And so again, having had so much training and experience, right, with all these different kids and families and parents for the past 20 years, it just makes a way for you to have a solution and hopefully a tool to change things in your family really quickly, because I've already learned it, I've already experienced it. I've had hundreds of kids over the last 20 years that have done exactly what your child is doing. And so I am all about helping you be efficient, effective, and connected. Okay. Enjoy your day and come back tomorrow and we'll start again.